Hi, I'm Nelson Daffer for News Express Television Sports. All is set for the World Cup final. The World Cup final at the Lusail Stadium in Qatar between Kylian Mbappe's France and the great Lionel Messi's Argentina. Big final, a big final match that promises great fireworks, the best of football between two countries, one from Europe, that is the defending champions of the World Cup, a country that has a lot of great players, some immigrant players doing well for them, up against Argentina, a country that prides itself with the local stars that they have brought up over the years. Argentina versus France. I tell you, this is the most unpredictable final going into the game. The most unpredictable World Cup final going into the game. In previous finals of the World Cup, going into the game, it was easy to see who the favorites were. The favorites were clear going into the final. Look at the last World Cup final between France and Croatia. Almost everyone would have gone for France. Of course, they won the World Cup. Everyone would have gone for France because of the glut of stars that they have, that they had compared to Croatia. They had the likes of Kante, Paul Pogba in their ranks, and Croatia, well, they had good players, but not as star-studded as the French team were. The final of the 2014 World Cup, the final of the 2010 World Cup featured Spain against Holland, the Netherlands, and the Spain team, the Spanish team, were at the peak of their powers. They were dominating world football, and it was easy for you to predict that Spain was going to beat the Netherlands. And then the final, the 2016 World Cup final, between Germany and the 2014 World Cup final, I beg your pardon, that held in Brazil between Germany and Argentina, featured a German side that were clearly dominating. They had beaten Brazil by 7-1 in the semi-final of the World Cup, beating Brazil in Brazil's home soil by 7-1 in the semi-finals, and going into the final, the Argentine team, though they had Messi, but they were not as they were boring in that tournament. They wumbled and fumbled to the final, and it was easy for people to predict that Germany would beat Argentina. So we can go all the way back to Italia '90, where Germany came up against West Germany, I think they were at that time, came up against Argentina. And even though Argentina had Diego Maradona, but the Argentine team, like the one that featured in the 2014 World Cup, the Argentine team was a boring team in that tournament, and they were duly beaten by Germany, by West Germany, who most people predicted would win the final. But this final, the 2022 World Cup final in Qatar between France and Argentina, is really a tight one to call. I tell you that the bookies are, evenly split on who they think would win this final. France, on the one hand, have Kylian Mbappe, who is a young force of nature, speedy, pacey, single-handedly took Morocco to the cleaners in the semi-final, helping France to a 2-0 win. With Kylian Mbappe in the French side, France will always believe that they have what it takes to win the game. And for Argentina, you cannot say they are dead when they have a Lionel Messi. Lionel Messi is, even at 35 years old, he is at the peak of his powers. He's as good as he ever was, playing fantastically well in the run up to the final, helping the Argentine team to look like a very exciting proposition, recovering very well from the shock 1-2 loss they suffered against Saudi Arabia in the very first game, and they have looked like a tactically well-drilled side, doing so well. So it's a tough one to call. Argentina up against France in the World Cup final. The early news from the camps of both sides, the latest news from the camp of France is that some players are suffering from a virus that have made them ruled out for the final match. A number of players like Adrien Rabiot have been ruled out from the final because of a flu, because of a virus that has hit the French camp. And so we hope that the French team will have they will have a decent enough lineup for the final. For Argentina, the big question mark is on Lionel Messi. Will he be on 100% fit for the final? He seemed to be struggling with his hamstring when they played in the semi-final against Croatia, and so Argentine fans are will be very hopeful, prayerful that Messi will be fit enough to give his best against France. So who wins that final? Well, Sunday evening, that answer will come. And will Messi, Lionel, one of the greatest players ever to grace the game, to grace the stage of football, one of the best ever players, most exciting players ever in the history of football, would he win the World Cup at last to add to his very large collection of personal glory? Hopefully for Messi fans, that prayer will be answered at the Lusail Stadium. Nelson Dafe, News Express TV Sports, Benin City.